Hello. How you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. All right. Hello. Romero, Interface. Hello, hello. So my screenshot server has finally gotten to the point where it's pissed me off enough that I need to do something about it. Now, I'm not gonna fix it. I'm not gonna finish fixing it tonight. Probably at most, I'm going to get a more solid plan in place for it, and then we'll continue on Sunday. Yeah. So a few things have happened, right? Well, since I originally wrote this. That's not what I wanted to go. Where I wanted to go. GitHub. Finishing. Did I not enunciate strong enough? I mean, that'll work. There. God, this program's like 10 years old. Holy shit. When did I actually, like, do anything substantial? 2 years ago? React API. Some work there. But the majority of it, 2021. Or, no, that's not the majority of it, is it? God. This server's been around for a little while. Yeah, ramblings. Yeah, pretty much. So this server's been around for a little while. It is what hosts this, and you can already see that there's some broken crap. It's the code behind this site here. You can see another one broken. I mean, it worked pretty well for a while. But some things that changed. One of the main things that changed is the API the Steam API that I was talking to, went away. It was deprecated because it just couldn't take the volume. Oh my god! Wait, what? Hold up. Why is this one working? Okay, sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. Because these are new screenshots from like this past week, and I didn't upload that banner. What the fuck? Or that. I don't think I gave it a name either. Interesting. But yeah, as you can see, the failure mode for these is garbage. So that basically triggers... there's a lot of things that I want to do better with this code. And I mean, you're getting thrown... No, so it's... I don't think it's that. So there's two separate endpoints I think I'm hitting. One is for the banners, if I remember right, and another one is for like the game names, which has been like formally deprecated. Because I went to look at the docs for it, and it's like, yeah, don't use this anymore. You need to use this other one. I'm like, shit. All right, I guess I have to use the other one. So that's part of it. And this this server has started to show other areas where it is lacking. Like whenever I restart the server, the initial scan for everything has to finish before I get a web page, before the server starts responding to requests, and I don't like that. The data backend for this is all one massive fuck off JSON. I'm sorry, two massive fuck off JSON files. I don't like that. Again, I want to actually get it in some sort of SQL. I'll probably be starting with SQLite to get that going. There's some other oddities like no. So this is 10-year-old code, and I didn't want to bother dealing with any kind of database stuff. So yeah, I need to fix that. I've gotten better, I think, since I started this. My skills have improved at least a little bit. I'd hope, right? Then again, and there's also another Brothers Pass. Thank you for 82 months, Epic. Appreciate it. How you doing? And there's some other things that like I don't want to say overlooked, but I didn't bother fixing. Like, that ain't right. And now I do, yes. Because it's pissed me off enough that I need to fix it. That's what's happened. It's pissed me off enough. So I don't like that. I need to fix that. And also, with large folders, like this one here is Death Stranding. You wouldn't know from just the number. But this has 2,300 images in it. If I click on that real quick, it takes a hot minute to load everything. I want to see if I can make that a little less strenuous on the server, right? Because that's how many images again was it? That's 2,342 individual individual requests to the server, right? I'd like to maybe try and cut that down a bit. I have an idea that I don't know if it'll work or not, but I do want to maybe try it. Where I say take a row of thumbnails, right? And put them in one large image, or not large, but you know, one image right next to each other, and then just like clip off what I need for each box, right? So that'll divide the number of requests by 6, right? So instead of 2,342 requests, it'd be only 390 requests. Right? But yeah, so I don't think I'll get very far tonight, and I do want to completely rewrite it from the ground up. So currently there is no kind of like admin interface at all. I think I would want to add one. Because right now, managing the names of different games, that's all done in a JSON file, and like to reload that file, you got to restart the damn server, which takes like 5 minutes with as many images as I have here, right? In fact, I can show you how many images I have. So find in images max depth 2, I think. What's it? iname star dot JPG, I think. And I want to let's see lines. 18,000 plus Pung. Nope. Okay. That's not right. Only 18,000? That's bullshit. That ain't right. That sounds low. But Sean, how you doing? What is a screenshot server? So, a while back, I like to take a lot of screenshots in games that I play, right? These being a bunch of games that I play. And to avoid Death Stranding spoilers, I'm only allotted a certain amount of space from from let's see, from Steam to actually like upload these things, right? So if I go in here, then where's the here, manage my 7 screenshots or whatever, right? You'll notice, by the way, that there's only 7 here, but there's more here. That's because this is from prior installs. See, 2013. So that's different computer actually. But yeah, so I can like upload or share some of these, right? But I have to. You can't see that in the corner there. Okay. Like that. So yeah, I have like the option to, you know, share it or whatever, and then put it in a chat or some bullshit. And it's like, all right, sure. I don't want to have to bother with that because I take a lot of fucking screenshots. A lot of screenshots as you know, 200 in Borderlands, like 2,300 in Death Stranding, right? There have been times where I've bound the screenshot button like to one of my mouse buttons, right? Yeah, I don't want to have to think about uploading them anywhere, and I just like want to have them available, right? Yeah, and I want them like outside of Steam. Or look in the folder, rsync to your screen server, and look at it later. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. Because again, like, I want to be able to like to you know, share a picture of this stuff, right? And I can just open that. There's the image. There's the full image, right? So anyone with this URL, why can't I chat in my own chat? What the hell? Close pop out. Pop out chat. Why the fuck do I not have... What? What the hell? Hey, Joe, how you doing? Why can't I chat in my own chat? What is this? I was gonna paste the fucking link. If I bring up my stream, I still can't. What is this? What the fuck? 7TV? Really? Man. Alright, so I gotta disable fucking 7TV? Son of a bitch. Netflix, how you doing? Alright, well. Extensions. 7TV, disable. And then over here, let's just close that and then reload the dashboard. Oh my god. Yup. Pop out. Oh, look, I can chat in my own chat again. Jesus. But yeah, so like I was saying, like, anyone with that link can see that picture, right? What language is written in? Python? No, Golang. That's my my default language for modern stuff, is Go. It's the one I'm most comfortable in, the one I'm most familiar with. And it works well for web stuff, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Did I say hi to you yet? Hello, welcome, if I didn't. But yeah, so I need to rewrite a lot of this. So I think I'm gonna. I'm not gonna get very far, like I said, tonight. I think like the furthest I'm gonna really get is maybe some skeleton, some proof of concept stuff, and some idea of where to go, right, where I'm going. That was a lot of fun. I enjoy it. Just curious, how does the screenshot app know which game the screenshot belongs to? So I take the screenshots directly from Steam, right? So if I go to, and then no, what's the button for? Hang on. Wait, where the fuck? No. There was like a view on disk, wasn't there? Or are those my uploaded ones? What the hell? Hang on, let me go to Death Stranding here. Where's the screenshots? So these are not. Okay, here we go. These aren't uploaded anywhere, right? Or onto Steam servers rather, right? So they are all already like sorted out into their own folders in Steam. Each of these numbers, these folders, the number is the app ID. Oh, this is satisfactory. Let me go backwards. There. It's the kind of shit I take pictures of, right? That looks jank as hell. Why the fuck? Oh, and that's crunchy. Oh my god, that screenshot's crunchy. But yeah, so it's all already organized by Steam. So I take advantage of that. I have what's it? A client. That's the word I was looking for. I have a client that watches this folder, or not, doesn't watch it. It's on a timer right now. Every half an hour, I think it is, it rescans this whole folder for anything new, and it uploads it to my server, right? So I don't have to bother with rsync or any of that stuff. Yeah, it adds it to like the cache and all that kind of stuff, so the server doesn't have to like do any manual rescan or anything like that. No file system watcher in Go? No. Mainly because for that kind of stuff, I think I would have to have a lot of file watchers. I think. And it's just easier, honestly, for me to just handle that with a periodic, every half an hour, just rescan the folder. And that works for me, And this is not a multi-user website, right? Like, this is like just my screenshots, right? I mean, that I'm not stopping you from running this server on your own hardware, right, or on your own site or whatever, and doing the same thing. But one instance is one user essentially, right? I mean, I can hook up if I had a Windows laptop or some shit, right? I could also hook that up to here, so I could have two different machines uploading to this. That's kind of why I have a lot of screenshots here that are not on this machine, on my local machine. No, it's a VPS. I've got it hosted somewhere. I think it's in New York somewhere now. But forward to the Proquest, yeah, right? But yeah, and a good portion of this is me brushing up on web shit. So I don't do a lot of web coding. A lot of the coding that I do is retro adjacent, right? Either directly in 8-bit assembly or something that a utility for NES stuff or some shit, right? So I don't often do web programming. So it's good to practice it a bit, I guess, right? Oh yeah, some of these are not TOS safe. This one's not TOS safe. This one's not TOS safe. One of them, I know one of them isn't, or two of them aren't, because of mods I have installed. Skyrim being one of them. Nier's probably TOS safe. This one, I mean, honestly, that one probably is too. Well, I don't know, maybe not. But there's a bunch that I can't show on stream. That's one I can't show on stream. Valhalla. I need to play this game again. Punts. Yeah, it's a really stupid third person race kind of game. I don't fucking remember. It's dumb as hell. It's so stupid. You've played it? Oh, yeah. It's a dumb one. It's a dumb one, but. But yeah, so there's some things I need to fix. Whoa, no. The display for that kind of crap. The startup time for the server, certainly. Having everything in fucking JSON files, I need to nix that in the butt. I want an admin interface. The only admin thing I have, I think, is just debug, which has some random information. I don't even have like that, like an image count. I've got a game count and a game cache count and an uptime. 33 hours because I restarted it because it didn't show something. Why no JSON disk space? No, because I if it's JSON, I have that in memory the entire time. And I don't want to do that. It's fun to read. Yeah. Yeah, so I need to that's funny that Valve is using this as well. I like that. That's pretty funny actually. Because it's JSON, yeah. So if this is the new version of it, I'm not using this version. I'm using a 10-year-old version of the API that has been deprecated, that I need to not use anymore. But aside from that, if the API is unavailable for whatever reason, right, I want to still be able to use this. I want to be able to use this without the API being responsive, right? Either like, you know, API key is revoked or some shit, or I don't know, they changed their API again or what have you. You know, I want it to be a little bit more resilient. Yeah. So even XML is less painful than JSON. Yeah, it absolutely can be, especially if you're just dealing with it programmatically and you're not modifying it by hand. Yeah, XML can be a lot nicer than JSON. Text formats are ass. Every single one of them is just a pain in the ass to deal with, and they've all got their ups and the plus sides and the negatives, you know. Well, yes, you want to cache. Yeah, exactly. And another thing that changes that I don't explicitly, I don't want to say support, but I don't explicitly accommodate. That's a better word for it. Is when these images change, these banners, because they do, right? Whenever a game updates, right? Like, where is that's probably one. Foundry. So, open image, new tab. Okay. So this guy here, and library. Oh, it actually might be. Okay. Can I find that on the big list? Like, if I do... I don't need a big list, actually. I can just do... Whoop. That's not even... That's a different fucking banner. But again... Maybe I'd want to use this banner instead of the other banner, right? So no, was there like a view for this? Because there was another way to show these. Was it was it big screen mode? Oh God, it's got audio. Fuck. Stop that. I haven't been in here in a while. I don't want what wow, okay. How do I see just the shit I have? Not new, not recommended. Menu. Library. Okay, it's using the vertical ones. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, it's all the vertical ones. All right. Maybe I'll want to change to use those, you know? Instead of the little horizontal ones. All right, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of big picture mode? So I don't think I want this. Ha ha ha. No. Exit big picture. Thank you. Okay. All right. Isn't it hardware accelerated? I've always had issues with big picture mode and it lagging a bit. I don't know. I haven't fucked around with the settings though because I never use it. right? I never fucking use it. But yeah, so I want to be able to update these when they do get updated, right? Where is because the other one the one I was looking for, Satisfactory. This still has the early access banner, right? It's like 1.2 now, I think, right? So I'd like to be able to update these, either explicitly or automatically, or choose an old one or upload my own, right? Because currently, in order to update that, I have to delete that image, and there's a non-zero chance that it just won't download the new one. Excuse me. All right. Automatically reversion control. Yeah, well, kind of. Maybe. Well, I mean, like, not like version control like Git, but I do want to like store the past versions of it, right, side by side. Yeah. So, I think, yeah. So this is the old code right here. Let's wrote. No, not that. No. Good thing I deleted the API key. That's what I wanted to do. Main? API gameless handlers image borked. Of course it's broken. Image server static files and templates. Okay. Server, what's good? I agree. And yes, cache invalidation version. Right. Exactly. So like I said, this code is like 10 years old, so it's not great. I have non-directories and root being added as games. What the fuck is this? I've got duplicated code apparently. But yeah, so like I said, this code is 10 plus years old. It's not great. And instead of trying to like work through and fix different things, I think I want to just start the fuck over, right? Yeah. And I'm not using any like external libraries for any of the routing, which I don't think I want to. I think I want to keep as few external things in this, right? I don't want to add a lot of externals. How about that? Ivan, how you doing? Welcome. Yeah. Oh yeah, I 100% want a database. Yes. It's going to allow multiple banners, caching and overriding metadata, etc. Yes. So I need to figure that out. And I'll probably start with SQLite because I don't feel like setting up a server for like Postgres or whatever right now. But as long as I have a interface for that, I should be able to get Postgres or MySQL or whatever the hell wired in without that much trouble. Maybe in theory, I don't know. Docker Postgres. Well, I still have to set up bullshit. I don't feel like doing that right now. That and with SQLite, I can just run it all in RAM. You know, it's whatever. Should it be bullshit regardless? I mean, yes, but like if I'm doing shit with Postgres and I'm actively like changing, what's it, schema and all that kind of crap, that's a pain in the ass to have to, I don't know, account for that, I guess. Whereas in SQLite, I can just put it all in RAM and be like, okay, close the database, and it just fucking vanishes. I don't smoke, but I also smoked enough for the rest of the year. This week, what? Went to Billard's bar. I don't think you spelled that right, but Biljards bar where you can smoke. Billiards. Yeah, pool. The pool balls, not like a swimming pool, but yeah. But yeah, so this is the current code that I'm running, right? So I've got an image cache that has a cache of the images. Would you believe? Vim image dot cache. Looks like that. Games for each game. It's got the file name with height, 'cause I need those. I need those for the library that does. Let me get one that I can. Factorio. The library that does this stuff. This is some code that I found that I'm importing. I'm using. I probably want to update to the newest version of this as well. But yeah, so this needs to know the resolution of the image. So that is actually somewhere. Yeah, it's right here. It's a massive fuck off array. It's just dumped into the web page source, so I can load all of them correctly. Yeah, I need to clean up a lot of the HTML for this stuff and all that. The caches, wow. Yeah. But yeah, otherwise I'd have to read this from disk every single time, and I'd have to open the image to read the width and height. Actually, when I do that, hang on. When I do that in the current code, image cache, do I... Hang on. Game list image, this one. Game images. Image meta. Oh, no. Where's the... Let's load that. Add image. Oh, no, I am doing just the config. Okay. So I'm not like reading the entire image into memory, hopefully. Why? Why am I doing this? What is this in now? Add image. There's the width and height. Like, why am I opening the full fucking... Why? Why am I manually making thumbnails? I shouldn't be doing that. God damn it. Honestly, if you want a decent start time... Oh, yeah, I mean, obviously. Spending all the cash to make it, no one go broke. Yes, yeah. Cash for cash's sake. So I shouldn't have to actually fucking do that. I shouldn't have to do that, the thumbnail, because the thumbnail is... thumbnails exist. Like, Steam does the thumbnails. 200 by 212. What do I use? What size do I use? 200 by 212. I mean, I'm using that size. Width of 200, I think it is, right? Because there's others that are not that size. Actually, hang on. Factorio is a good example because this is... No, that is 1080. Okay. Which one wasn't? Borderlands? No, that's 1082. I could have swore I had some non-1080 stuff. No, they absolutely did. They absolutely did exist. I think I may have like added in as there we go. So that's not 1080. I think I may have added it in when like it was like a non-Steam game that needed thumbnails. Because if it's a non-Steam game, Steam won't make the thumbnails for it, right? Or if I'm missing the thumbnails for it for whatever reason. Yeah, 200 across. Okay. It may have been that, but I don't think I'm like checking for that. Yeah. But I don't think I did the check correctly, because it just makes it anyway. It just makes it unconditionally, like, because that makes fucking sense. Which is probably why the fucking why this scan takes forever, because it redoes all the goddamn thumbnails every time. No fucking wonder. Oh my god. Does it ever save those thumbnails? Are they in memory? No, it saves them. Makes dir, create, encode. Always up to date. Always. The latest version of the thumbnail from 10 years ago. Caching the cache regardless if it's already being cached? Yes. I think. I don't even remember anymore. That would explain why the startup takes fucking forever. Is there? Stat. Oh, okay. Well, no. If it's not nil, if error is not nil, so if there's an error, return it. Stat. Oh, there is actually. Okay. So it does. That's what this is. Make sure it exists. Okay, so I didn't fuck that up that badly. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Handlers, what's in here? Sort keys by... Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. Old sort code. Look at that. Because that's the way you had to do it before. To just sort fucking strings. You needed to make you need to make 3 fucking functions. Now there's, like, what is it? There's the sort function. Or there's the slices library that uses generics, so you don't have to do this bullshit anymore. Good example of writing code is easier than reading it. Yeah. You know, worries. Costco. All right. Enjoy your Costco trip. Yes, this is building up the stuff for each page. The main page, right? And again, so like, I'll go back here. Disable cache. All right, reload. So many requests. Look at all these fucking requests just for this one page. And what is it not finding? These are the banners. It's not. Where's the fake icon gone? What the hell? Gotta redo my web pages. It's a logo and at since about 7 years ago. Ooh. So a screenshot by a tweet of someone paying off the Costco hot dog in 4 payments. Isn't that hot dog like $1.50? I didn't need 4 payments for that. Which takes a less function as an argument, thus avoiding the need for all that. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, this code is old, like I said, right? Yeah, 152 requests. Well, that isn't that bad though. Like half a second for that though. That's not bad. All right, let's go over here. This one's a little worse. Okay. 2,349 requests. 6.66 seconds. No, so when I've got the debugger tools, these tools open, it disables caching. So I can test the worst case. If I uncheck that, and then go over here and then reload it, 2.27 seconds, which still isn't great. 2 seconds for that, but that's a lot of requests it didn't need to bother with, right? Because these are all cached. All these images here, right? So it does do some caching. I just have it, like I said, turned off when I have the debugger open. Yeah. Sort slices edited in Go 1.8. So indeed it hasn't always been there. Yep. Yeah, that's bad. And also, good slices. This one. Added in, I don't know when. 1.23. So this is a lot newer. 1.22? Somewhere around there. I don't know. Where you can do a sort func right here. Right? Where you can pass in a function to do the less, the sort, right? Yeah. Yeah, because that is one thing that I really didn't like, was having to do all this shit with the length, swap, and less. Because it was the same fucking code, right? Every time. It was just a little bit different for what I had to touch. I have to learn modern Go. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, so the main thumbnail. That one's not broken, I don't think. I don't think the image is broken. The banner is broken, though. Debug. Oh, yeah. This shit's broken. Because apparently this doesn't fucking work. Get game banner. Where the fuck is that? Is that in here? No. Game list. Get game banner. Where the fuck? No, I want to go over to here too. Okay. There it is. Returns the file name. Because this is supposed to copy the unknown one to that ID. That's what it's supposed to do. That's not the folder I wanted. This one. And what happened to that, actually? Hang on. Where the fuck is it? Static? Is that why it doesn't fucking work? Oh, no, there it is. Okay. So, yeah, this is what it's supposed to default to. Right? And I originally had it copying to that game's ID, which I don't think I want to do. Yes, these are all the banners and everything. The fuck is this? A single pixel. Okay. A single white pixel. Why do I have a single white pixel? What? Fuck out of here. Only for 400 returns. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Is this still, like... Copy... No. Well, forbidden, okay, yeah. Does... All right. Copy link address. No. This one. Give me an app ID. Oh, let me get this guy. Copy. That. Not found. Cool. Can I get any of those? Nope. No, okay. Of course not. Yeah, I need to actually like find the documentation for this stuff again, but whatever. It did have a 0 and have ID 0. That's Steam game ID, by the way, not like ID in my server or whatever. That's the Steam ID. At least that's what it should be, you know. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna rewrite this from the ground up. V2. All right. Okay, so database stuff. So I'll want one that is it's got like what's it? Steam ID, right? It's got the name. I'll need a table that's got the banner stuff, right? Which would be Steam ID, banner file name, or maybe not even that, just like row ID. How about that? Row ID. Well, no, still Steam ID. Yeah. Mod time. And this here, I think I'll have the like a, or maybe I'll combine the file name with the mod time on the file system, right? Something like that underscore 2024 02 13 dot jabuga or something like that, right? Maybe something like that. Then I'd need another table of Steam ID and the actual images, right? Image name. Thumbnail is just going to be a different folder. Width, height, and again, mod time. I'd need a general like config whatever the hell, right? Like config key, config value for various bullshit that's like more global than everything else, right? At least we're adding some random ID in case some. That's true too. So it'd probably be more like. All right, let me do it this way. Games. Banners. So database ID, Steam ID, name, banner ID, database ID. Something like that. Images, database ID, image name, image width, height, mod time, global config or global values. Global values. Right. Having the mod time in the database directly instead of having to parse the file name would make it easier to do things like if modified sense handling, you think? Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, so I could have, you know, add the original time or whatever to, or a time to the banner file name, or, you know, do something like just 001 or some shit, right? But not have like this dependent on when I look. Yeah. Dude, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You can embed it and go. Yeah, okay, sheesh. Yeah, so stuff in here, I would want things like Steam API key, server upload or update key, admin user pass, Banner's probably wants a foreign key for game ID. Wouldn't it go the other way? The other way though? Or like, do I need them both pointing at each other? This one's got the banner ID on it. Well, no, because if there's more than one of them, how do I get all of the banners for that game? You're right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, because that'd be the currently chosen banner. Yeah. Not all the banners for that game. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And then here, I would also need the game ID. Excited for TV shit. Don't get too excited, because I'm dog shit at it, all right? Because then, yeah, to get the images, I'd need to do like a select star from images where game ID equals whatever. Equals. Yoink. Paste. And this might need to be... Well, no, we can have that a number. That's fine. It does get rather large, though, for non-Steam stuff. Why don't I have it in here? The non-Steam stuff gets a little bit large. For my own database. No. What's the largest integer I can have in database stuff? Anybody know? So I might need that, like, that Steam ID to be like a string field. Right? Actually, that's probably fine, because the game ID is that's a number to that's a database number. Or game ID equals, like, select game ID from games where Steam ID equals that. Like one of those or some shit, right? No. Or I suppose a fucking join or whatever, and I don't know how the fuck those work anymore. I used to have an idea. You join it on, like, game ID or some shit, right? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Okay. Join probably a better way. Do the episode clear as it works. Yeah, so I know enough database stuff just to be dangerous, not to be useful. I know how to make a mess of things. That's what I'm getting at. Okay. Admin UI. Okay, so things I want to be able to do in here. Rename games. Rename game entries. Change banners. Upload load new banners. Ooh, hang on. What I want, like, uploaded as, like, a flag here. Hey, we uploaded this versus, you know, we got this from Steam. Select iStar from images as left join games as G on yeah. Yeah, something like that. Now I'll put that in there too. Select I.star from images as I left join games as G on G.game ID equals I.game ID whermst G.steam ID equals yoink paste. Oh. Yeah, I'll leave that as a note for later. Okay, yeah, so rename game entries, change banners, upload new banners. Remove or purge games and individual screenshots. I'll probably want to do that. And for that, have a removed flag, right? So, hey, this thing's gone, don't re-upload. Right? And that'll mostly go on, like, the image name, I think. And when the client is requesting, like, hey, do you have this image already? Right? the server will respond back with, yes, I do, even though it's been deleted, right? See, I'll probably want it removed. What else? Oh, I need database info, right? To be able to change that. Force rescan and like a force. Well, yeah, force rescan to hit API too. No. For this one, modified name or custom name as a Boolean. Like, hey, we've set this to a custom name. Don't change it. Maybe, right? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'll need that one. What the hell else would I need? If roto removed, is 410 like an actual code? No, that's not what I want. For right now, I'm not using a quote-unquote real database for development. And that's basically it. I don't know. That's the status codes. All right, 400. Oh, that is an actual code. I wasn't aware. Indicates the resource requested was previously in use, but no longer available and will not be available again. That is the perfect use for that. This should be used when a resource has been intentionally removed and the resource should be purged. Upon receiving a 410 status code, the client should not request the resource in the future. Clients such as search engines should remove the resource from their indices. Most use cases do not require class 404 not found. Maybe use instead. I like that though. Set. No. Return HTTP. .410 gone when requested. Murillo. How you doing? Am I saying that right? Did I get it right? Maybe. That's an in-process one rather than a server-based one? Yeah. And I don't plan on, like, using SQLite in... I say in production, but I mean live, right? I don't plan on that. I plan on using a proper database. But for now, while we're just fucking around with this stuff, I'm familiar enough with SQLite that I can get by, all right? All right. Main UI. One big fuck off list of games. Each game is one big fuck off list of screen shots. Eventually for thumbnails, maybe? I don't know. Like I said before with this one, the idea being that it's a to help reduce the number of requests. Just the sheer number of requests. No. We use both SQLite and Postgres for a while. SQLite for the automated testing, and Postgres for prod. Yeah. Again, like I know enough of SQLite that I can use it more or less. But I'm not planning on using that as the live environment, or in the live environment, I should say. Yeah. With our interfaces, the only thing that really needs to change is the connection string. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would probably want to use like stored procedures if possible. Does not have JSON, which by definition makes it better than any other database period. So, God. So thankfully, my boss had stopped suggesting this bullshit. But so my day job, it's all print and mail bullshit, right? So we print out like a fuckload of like checks and like statements, right? Like monthly statements are a big one, right? Like either your bank statement or fucking water bills or some shit that are monthly. And it's, for each of these, it's just fucking bulk processing data, right? So we get data in like as a like text format, and then we just open that up and fucking line by line, we build the statements or whatever out of all that information. And Bossman was like, oh, we should just, have the customer send it to us as JSON, and we'll connect it to SQL Server, and we can go through it with SQL Server. And I'm like, motherfucker, why? We are bulk processing information. I'm not going to load their file into SQL Server just to fucking delete it afterwards. Like, no. No, I'd rather load that entire file into memory on the server it's running on and fucking brute force it that way, instead of having to fuck with SQL. Get out of here. And he's like, oh, but you can just tell SQL Server to look at a JSON file. Okay, none of our shit comes in that format. Fuck off. Join, not JSON. Well, I swear I can read. So how would I accomplish this then? When I need data from more than one table, would I have to do it like this? Actually, if I want all that information in one request, yeah. The record IDs are a direct reference to another record. Is that like a relational database or like a document store? That sounds more like a document store than anything. Or starting to sound like a document store, rather. Document, but is multi-model. What? I was gonna say, what the fuck is that? Fucking umlaut nonsense. You with your funny keys. And what how late is it for you over there anyway? 2:12. Is that 2:12 a.m.? What the fuck are you still doing up? Yeah, 2:12 a.m. What are you still doing up? Why are you still awake, huh? Game with it. Okay, fair. All right, understandable. Understandable. Okay. That does not the package does not adopt them. I'll import some things. WASM? WASM, what the fuck? WebAssembly. So I will need a like bare bones configuration for like database shit. Like, hey, here's how to talk to the database, right? Config struct. I don't think I'll need anything other than database stuff in there, right? Because everything else is going to be in the in the database, like the API keys, the admin user login, right? For the custom game name, might be nicer to have that as a string. That way the admin UI can show you both the custom name and the original name later. Yeah, that might actually be a good idea. Whatever updates from Steam doesn't need to check for it being set. Yeah, I like that better. Yeah, so it can have. So this one is like always going to be populated because that's coming from Steam. This one's only populated if I populate it myself manually. Yeah. And in the UI, I can just have like a, if I change it, whatever, I can just have like a little icon that I can hover over or whatever. It's like original name is this or something. Yeah. Yeah. Can I just do like connection string? Hang on. Totally not a routed game. Yeah, right. Right. So I want the like database type and the connection string or whatever, the data source name. How do I do that currently? Where the hell is that? I fucking don't. Why am I looking in here if I don't even do that? I think this does it. Yeah. SQL.open SQLite, and then that's the connection string. Okay. Android DB. No. Yeah, so I have done a little bit of database stuff, but this is even old code, isn't it? Like, how old is this code? 5 years? That really only 5 years? Feels like it feels like this code is older than 5 years though. No? Okay. 2021. Well, I guess I did write this on stream, didn't I? So yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. So DB type string connection string. The only two things I really need. Yeah. That I can put in a JSON file. I don't give a shit about that. So I don't have to like import fucking TOML or whatever. Yeah, if it's just two things to get it connected to a database, I'm okay with just using JSON. Yeah. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. So for go all the way up. All the way up, thank you. Center library. And then, like, routing. Hello. The Hugo. Welcome. Welcome. What is it? Net HTTP? Yeah, net HTTP. Yeah. CGI cookie jar. Yeah, this, I don't think I want to use this shit directly, though, right? Trace util. Isn't this deprecated? I thought this was deprecated. There's a few things that are, yes. Okay, well, we're not using that. Mail, fuck that implementation. If there's generic support for text-based request response protocols in the style of that. Oh, what the fuck? What is this? Are you working on the project from GitHub name Steam screenshots? Yes and no. That is the code that I'm basically going to be rewriting from scratch. This code has aged enough and rotted enough that I need to rewrite it from the ground up, honestly. It's been a long time coming. This code's like 10 years old. Dude, man, how you doing? And I've learned a lot since I wrote this server. Wrote this code. So I kind of just want to like start over, right? Let's go. How can it rot? Everything rots. Okay. God, the code that I'm working on in my day job is fucking necrotic. There's so much dead and rotting code in there. Oh my god. God, like that code. So this code's 10 years old. Which predates me streaming. The code I have at work, that code is like 35 years old. Right? Can I do math right? Hang on. 2026 minus 1993. 33. I was close. 33 years old. Yeah. With code from the 70s. Well, so your code's probably in what? C? Maybe? I'm going to go on a limb and guess C. Mine's in PLB, and it is go to spaghetti. It's good that 30 years ago was the 90s. Yeah. Main COBOL? Oh, you're in COBOL. Structured only. Naturally. Yeah, the PLB that I use is poor man's COBOL. Natural is the language. What the fuck? Natural language for mainframes. Of course, IBM. Is it? IBM, come on. Load your damn page, IBM. Come on. You're supposed to be this, like, multi-billion-dollar company, and you can't even fucking write a web page correctly? Let's turn this off for this page, because it's hurting it, apparently. Stop it. Jesus. No, that's not what I wanted. What the fuck? He's hosted on a mainframe, right? Oh, whatever. What the fuck? No, get out of there. Stop that. You could be getting a microservice that needs a cold restart. Oh God. I can close out of this now. This one? Yeah, it's this one. No, wait a minute. Why do I have so many fucking things open? Okay. Get into over here, thank you. Scale to 0, baby! I'm not gonna be using this. I'm just curious what the fuck this is. Command, what the fuck? Mime header, reader, writer. Interesting. No scale needed. Yeah, right. All right. In here, what is it? It's the mux, right? Handler fuck no. What the oh, let me also turn this off for now, because I don't need that on, honestly. I've got enough fucking lights on my face. I don't need a darker screen. This guy here, mux, where are ya? New serve mux. So S, serve mux. This guy. Why do I even need a database? For these reasons. So at first, everything was in just JSON files. 2 JSON files that I just loaded into memory, right? And refreshing that in memory and like the juggling that with saving it to disk was proving problematic. I don't want to do that. Right? And again, fucking JSON. I don't know where it went, but yeah, I'm not. It's a mess. I don't want to do it that way. Okay. That's a... Yeah, that's a... Okay, that's a structure. Patterns versus trailing structure. Yeah. Patterns can match... the method host... Oh, shit! Object name denotes the remainder of the path. Is that... Hang on. Method host path. Can I get that as like a variable? All 3 parts are optional. / is a valid pattern. If method is present, it must be followed by at least 1 space or tab. Tab, ew. Literal, that is non-wildcard parts of a pattern match the corresponding parts of a request case sensitively. Yeah, case sensitively. The A pattern with no method matches every method. Pattern with the get method matches get and head requests. Otherwise, the method must match exactly. Pattern with no host matches every host. A pattern with the host matches URLs on that host only. I might actually want to use that for admin stuff. I might want to put the admin stuff on another subdomain. Right? A path can include wildcard segments in the form of name or name ... For example, B, bucket. Oh, object name. The wildcard name must be a valid Go identifier. Wildcards must be full path segments. They must be preceded by a slash and followed by either a slash or the end of the string. For example, B underscore bucket is not a valid pattern. Okay. Normally, a wildcard matches only a single path segment. Adding the next literal slash, not %2f, right? Because URL encoding. The request URL, but if the ... is present, then the wildcard matches the remainder of the URL search path, including slashes. Therefore, it is invalid for a ellipses wildcard to appear anywhere but the end of a pattern. Makes sense. The match for a wildcard can be attained by calling request.pathValue with the wildcard's name. Okay. This value for named path wildcard in the servmux pattern that matched the request. It returns the empty string if the request was not matched against the pattern. Oh, that's on the request. Oh, okay. A trailing slash in a path acts as an anonymous ellipses wildcard. Now, the special wildcard $ matches only the end of the URL. For example, the pattern /$ matches only the path /, whereas the pattern / matches every path. I like that. Okay. For matching, both pattern paths and incoming request paths are unescaped segment by segment. So, for example, the path /A%2FB, all that bullshit, is treated as having two segments, AB and 100%. A/B and 100%. Okay, the pattern A%2FB matches it, but the pattern A/B does not. URL encoding. Okay, yeah. We're so crudden. Nice to be a problem being unable to match only /. Yeah. If two or more patterns match a request, then the most specific pattern takes precedence. Okay. If pattern P1 is more specific than P2, a pattern P1 is more specific than P2 if P1 matches a strict subset of P2's requests. That is, if P2 matches all the requests of P1 and more. If neither is more specific, then the patterns conflict. There's one exception to this rule for backwards compatibility. If two patterns would otherwise conflict and one has a host while the other does not, then the pattern with the host takes precedence. If the pattern passed the servmux, if a pattern passed to servmux to handle or handle func conflicts with another pattern that is already registered, those functions panic. As an example of the general rule, images / thumbnails, I'm going to be using that one, is more specific than images. Yes, so both can be registered. The former matches the paths beginning with images thumbnails, and the latter will match any other path in the images subtree. Another example. Consider the patterns get / and /index. Both match a get request for index.html, but the former pattern matches all of the get and head requests, while the latter matches any request for index.html. Yes, more specific. Trailing / redirection. Servmux receive a request for the search route without trailing / or rejects the request by item. Wait. It redirects the request by adding a trailing /. This behavior can be overridden with a separate registration for the path without the trailing / or the triple R code. For example, registering images slash causes servmux to redirect the request for images without the slash to, okay. Unless images without the slash has been registered separately. Okay. Request sanitizing. Select URL paths and host header, stripping the port number and redirecting any request containing a dot or double dot segments. Replace repeated slashes to an equivalent cleaner URL. Accept elements, path elements such as %2e for dot and %2f for slash are preserved and aren't considered separators for request routing. Right, because URL escaped. The pattern syntax and matching behavior of server change significantly and go to 1.22. What? Do I even have, like, a Go mod in this one? Oh, well, okay. So it says 1.22, but what was it originally? Go mod. History. It was originally 1.12. A little older. Yeah. Backwards incompatible changes include wildcards are just ordinary little path segments in 1.21. For example, the pattern that will match only that path. Will match any 1 segment path in 1. Okay. In 1.21, no pattern was rejected unless it was empty or conflicted with an existing pattern. In 1.22, syntactically invalid patterns will cause those functions to panic. For example, in 1.21, the patterns / open curly brace and / a curly x match themselves, but in 1.22 they are invalid and will cause a panic. Yes. And that 1.12 was when Go mod was added, not when the project was first started. When was this? V3 commit. Parent there commit. Why can't I see the 2019? That's when I did that. When did I start this again? 2017. 2 years after I started it. Fix build error. What did I do here? Before I even had uploading images. So before this, I had not rsync, but oh fuck, there was another program that handled syncing between machines. Sync thing? Yeah, oh, they're still around. Look at that. This project. Continuous file synchronization. I used that, and it worked to a point, but it became kind of a problem. Yeah, especially with more than one machine updating shit. Yeah. Wonder how many people see these gorilla mucks. Yeah, I'm not bringing that beast in. I'm not doing that. Especially if like the built-in shit, the standard library has expanded to use this pattern stuff. Like I was on the drive home today, I was thinking of like basically implementing this, rolling my own router essentially. But if the standard package just does that for me, I don't have to fucking worry about it. So that'll be nice. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, they were ahead of me. All right, so Man's gonna do the startup stuff. Well, so normally, like with all my utilities, I have main like do the argument parsing and like the config loading and all that, and then have this like if error equals run args or whatever, right? That, no, okay, like that. And error is not nil, right? I usually do that, but I don't think I need to do that with this one. I think I can just do all this shit in main because I'm basically going to be, you know, like, I'll have like a server object that I throw everything at, maybe. I don't know. Worst case, flags package, maybe? Yeah, so the only, like, command line arguments I would want are where the fuck's the config to connect to the database, and, like, verbose logging, maybe? I don't know. Graceful shutdown via SIGTERM. Well, yes. So, yeah. I think I do that currently. Yeah, Signal. Yeah, SIGINT and SIGTERM. I think I do both of them. Yeah. Honestly, nowadays people load these things as environment variables because Docker. I mean, I could support that as well. OS. Not this. That'll just get all of them. Environment variables. What the fuck? Huh. Interesting. Will I use it though? I mean, possibly. I don't know. Get environment. Oh, yep, that's it. Yep. I mean, it wouldn't be that bad to like use that as a fallback. You know? So what I could do is over here, like, kfuga equals like get config, right? And that will like look at OS stuff. Kfuga. But yeah, I mean, if it's just that, right? I don't have a problem supporting that on hell, all three of them directly on the command line, in a config file or environment variable, because it's only two fucking things. Hard code all the configs. So there's, oh god, there's production code right now that I wrote. It's in Go, that has just a massive block. God no. A massive block of, var, and then a bunch of like, directory output, right? String equals fucking, I don't know, somewhere. But like a fucking massive block of this shit, Milky Cottage, how you doing? Got some working on like I had to search for someone coding on Arch Linux. God help me. Welcome. Thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate that. Yeah, so today we're doing some more normal stuff with Go. But typically the stuff I'm doing, I still even have it fucking open, is 6502 assembly. This one is for is for this thing, which is like a memory card for the Famicom. Some other stuff is disassembly of the study box, which is another Famicom thing, but it's a tape drive because shut up. But yeah, Archer Treadmill's catchy. Yeah, so I've been on Arch for a little while. Hang on. So I installed this system on stream years ago. How many years ago was that? My channel. Video, because I uploaded that as a video, didn't I? 5 years ago. Okay. So I've been on this install of Arch for 5 years. Before that, I was more on and off with Windows and different versions of Linux. Debian, Ubuntu. I think I tried Manjaro at one point. Don't ever touch Manjaro. It's garbage. Yeah. Banger Tetris game. Thank you. I kind of want to revisit some of that, by the way. And revisit specifically for the sound, for the audio stuff. Red Hat's at work. And the more I deal with Red Hat, the more I dislike Red Hat. Royal pain in the ass for some stuff. I mean, it works. AIX is Unix, not Linux, okay? But yes, I've also used a bunch of those. I still have those. One of these days, I'll get back to doing shit with those, but that is not today. All right, so order of precedence. Command line config. ENV? Or no, it... Because the configuration would have to be given by one of those at least. Pure itch right out of the 70s. I might, by the way, be re-implementing Ed for the TRS-80 project. I don't know yet. I did, so yesterday I started playing around with this to get a better feel for some of it. With specifically the discs, the emulated discs, to figure out like how those work. And I'm really happy that I have the tape drive working, because that helped me like not have to retype some shit. Bridgewater, how you doing? FreeBSD 1. I have a FreeBSD server actually. That's my media server that I admittedly need to update here soon. Switched to Linux a while back. Got weirded out with the terminal. Went back to Windows and realized how much easier the terminal is. Plus, it's like having to wait for Windows to not shit itself. Optimized by an orangutan. Yeah, orangutan with a rock. Yeah, so my day job is all a Windows environment. Well, I say all, but I have a Windows laptop for my day job, and it's Windows 11, and I fucking hate Windows 11. It's the new thing that it just decides to do, right? Is I'll be in a folder and I'll like paste some shit, right? And it won't show me the shit I just pasted. I have to refresh the fucking folder for a local folder for it to show me the shit I just pasted. I hate that so much. Wait for Copilot to be added your paste command. Take a gun to my laptop, I swear to fuck. More and more, my boss is pushing more and more AI bullshit. And I am discovering that I am just clocking out more and more. I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna follow my friend to Canada maybe and just say, good luck. Yeah. 11. I've customized it a little bit so it's less so it hurts my eyes less. Cause it's still dog shit. Firefox will just randomly freeze. Explorer will fucking crash on me. That happens all the fucking time because of course it does. And then Teams is a bitch. Fuck Teams. Outlook is another piece of shit. I hate Outlook. Thankfully, a good portion of the work I do is on a fucking Red Hat server. So I just have fucking Putty up full screen. Had 4.5 hours of sleep in the past 30? What? That's not a lot of sleep there, Bridgewater. Beginning sleeping 1 to 2 hours at a time? Oh, no. Last week after a Windows 11 update, it just randomly decided that my machine can no longer play video like YouTube, and reinstalling doesn't fix it. Oh, no. Remember when the fucking Notepad wouldn't launch because it's considered a Microsoft Store app, and since it's Vibe coded, there's a glitch where it would just never validate your account, so you couldn't use the... Oh, my God. What? What the fuck? So I don't use Notepad either because they're fucking with that. All they needed to do was just, like, understand Unix line endings. That's the only thing that I wanted them to change in Notepad, right? Was just, hey, there's more than just CRLF for line endings. Can you handle that, please? That's it. But no, they're shoving fucking Copilot into it and like Markdown and like embedding links and shit. So now there's like backdoors or whatever in, or there's attack surfaces in Notepad. Because fucking of course there are. What? Sleep cycle just got turned up to frappe. Ooh. That's unfortunate. Hey, you go get some food. That's all features, people. Copilot will fix it. Hopefully fix it with a fucking bullet. I do like some of the new Notepad features. It's nice to have Markdown support for tabs and remembering that I didn't save when my PC decides to randomly update and close everything I was working on. God, that's another thing that pisses me off. So, God, I don't remember how long ago it was. About a year or so ago. No, maybe like 2 years ago. At least 2 years ago, because we still had this shit-ass customer. They've since left, thank God. But it was some credit union. And some absolute dipshit in sales put it in their contract that their monthly file always runs on the first of the month. No matter what day that is. If it's a random ass Wednesday, okay, run it during normal business hours. If that's a Saturday, my ass was home running that on my laptop. Yes, this also includes bank holidays like New Year's Day. Fuck that customer. I was working New Year's Day. I was not happy. But yeah, so anyway, for one of these, it was like a multi-part thing, right? Where the main program, the main process made the print files or whatever the fuck, right? And then there was a supplementary program that did like a PDF archive thing. And this was the original code. This was older code that I hadn't rewritten yet. But it was extremely flaky. And we were using... Right, because this was back when we still had the AIX machines. Because that didn't have TMUX. So we were like fucking telnetting into these. Well, I don't think we were... Most people were not SSHing into these. Most people were fucking telnetting into these machines. So we had the terminal client up, right? And this thing took forever, this one process. So I let it run overnight. I get up the next morning, Open my laptop up. Windows goes, we updated you and restarted, but don't worry, we opened up all your windows again. And I'm like, motherfucker, you closed my terminal, which killed the process on the server. Fuck you. I was so mad. I was so livid. So after I got that restarted, I think that week, I rewrote that archive process to not do that bullshit. Because it was some old, like, PLB nonsense that took fucking forever that shouldn't have... It took, like, 2 days to run it. Which is why I left it running overnight. So I rewrote it to only take a few hours. Yeah. Game always wins, right? Everyone else just puts a gun to their foots. Oh. I think the thing that really shows how bad Microsoft shit is when games run smoother through translation layer. Yeah. Yeah. Runs better through Wine than on Windows. On bare metal Windows. I've seen the new Steam controller. I haven't placed an order for it yet. Because I do plan on getting the frame, number one, and probably the Steam Machine, the GameCube. And from what I understand, the GameCube, there's a bundle version where you can get the system as well as a controller. So I'll probably go on that route instead of just the controller. But we'll see. I'm certain Temple OS could run some things better than Windows. One of these days, I'm going to fuck around with Temple OS on stream. One of these days. Not anytime soon. Not anytime soon. But that is something I have wanted to look at. Because it's a fascinating system, Temple OS. Say what you will about the creator. But, yeah, he put a lot of thought into that. A lot of work into that. And had some really interesting ideas with it. Yeah. Holy C stream. Yeah, I do want to like poke around with it and see how it works, you know, because I only have like a surface level knowledge with that. Yeah. Nothing worse than using Windows using as a dev machine. Yeah. WSL's dog crap and nothing works right with it except VS Code because Microsoft. Yeah, so I don't even bother with WSL. Whenever I need to do something strictly in Linux, I fire up a VM. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm firing up my VM. I don't care for any Windows integration. My integration is firing up PuTTY and SSHing into the box. Like, that's... Memory protection is for the non-believers, right? Exactly. Steam controller puck has a bad flaw. The magnet is incredibly strong and will light on fire if it attaches to metal. What? Uh-oh. That ain't good. So it's got no short protection? Really? I used the WSL for a few months on a decent laptop. In my last worked fine, but the distro was inside distro for your company or whatever. Yeah, custom distro. Yeah. Do I have the Steam Deck? No. My reasoning for not having a Steam Deck is I'd have nowhere to use it. Really, I don't do the portable gaming because whenever I'm on the move, I'm driving. So I'd have nowhere to use it, right? Yeah, I don't leave my place. Yeah. And when I do leave my place, I am like out running an errand or commuting to work, or I've got somewhere to be, you know? So stopped bothering with it when I found out that just having WSL running uses almost 16 gigs of memory. Oh my god, what the fuck? Yeah, if I'm using 16 gigs of memory, I'd rather just like spin up a fucking VM. If you want to tear it down, the motherboard is super powerful and small. So if you want a tiny ass arch thing, it's perfect. Okay, so about like small, about my computer hardware. This one. This is a massive fuck off tower. That is a Power 3, I think, Unix machine, sitting right there. I've got an audio rack here. I have a 24U rack off camera over there that has two 4U server cases. One is my main machine that you're seeing here. Another one is my stream computer. I have another 2U machine that's my fucking what's it? Media server. I have another 12U rack out in the living room that has two more AIX machines, the ones that I used that work got rid of. So I'm not really worried about like making small things, right? Where's the PC room bed? No, so my bedroom is over there. With this apartment, it's the first time that I have explicitly with purpose no, how do I want to say this? I have consciously set up my bedroom to only be my bedroom, right? So there's the only electronics in my bedroom is the fucking ceiling fan and a humidifier, right? Like a light, you know? My last place, I had my entire setup in my room, right? But yeah, it's a separation of space, you know? When I'm in there, I'm fucking sleeping. That's it, right? When I'm in here, I am doing non-work stuff. So yeah, it's a separation. Yeah. See, oh, it's that. No. That's not. That ain't toilet paper. That ain't toilet paper. That is. Paper towels. I make a mess all the time, and I this is where I eat too, right? So this is my napkins, right? For when I eat. And when I drink on stream, I make a mess half the time, honestly. And I also need a bookshelf because you can't really see it very well, but there's a stack of books on top of this thing. Yeah, but yeah, there have been there have been numerous times where I've like spilled my drink, either water, beer, sake, all over my desk on stream. You don't want to peacefully fall asleep and this to the sounds of fans. Okay, so about that, currently it's in the window. There's like a window fan over there, right? If it's too quiet in my bedroom, I have to take that and just like put it in my room and turn it on. I have to, because I've had a computer, at least one computer, in my bedroom for the longest time. This room isn't that bad. It's like 60 degrees outside right now, so it's not too bad. I've got like I said the fan going in the window, so it's not too bad. It's 70 degrees in here. What's that? 20 Celsius, give or take. Yeah. So it's kind of cool in here. Those computers would heat up. They kind of do. I mean, it's always warmer in here than it is outside. The other day, this past week was a little brutal because it hit fucking 95 degrees outside, which meant it was 100 degrees in here. I finally put my AC unit in the window, and it was like 50% plus humidity, which that's what really kills you, the humidity, because you're sticking to everything, and it just the air feels heavy, you know. So once I stuck that in the window, that took like all the humidity out of the air, and it didn't cool it down that much, but with the humidity gone, it made all the difference. All the difference. My parents used to sleep with open windows next to a train line. So at my parents' place, growing up, across the street, there's a row of houses, and immediately behind those houses was an active train line, commuter line. So not like freight once in a once a week, whatever. It was commuter rail every day, you know. I never heard it growing up. I never heard that train. Unless I was specifically like waiting for it or listening for it, right? It never even registered. Cause we moved in there when I was like 5 or whatever, right? And yeah, you move next to a train, you'll hear it for the first month. And then it's just part of the background noise. You know? You do not hear it anymore. The only time the trains don't run is between 3 and 5. I think back home there's yeah, so it is a commuter rail line, but there are times when freight also runs that, but the freight runs at night. So yeah, like around midnight or whatever, you'll hear a train go by sometimes, you know. And even then, if you're listening for it, or now I don't live near a train now, right? So when I go home and visit my parents, now I hear it. But yeah, I will hear it more when my 12 whatever that is cable decides to melt. Oh my god. I lived a few miles from an airport, about the same. After a while, the heavy ones at 2 a.m. would be noticeable. Yes, I think we'd probably appreciate that. I can sleep through any noise by now. Yeah, so for me, as long as the noise is like rhythmic, I'm fine. Primarily alarms, I said. So that one, oh god, yeah, yes. So, oh my god, I made the mistake years ago of like setting like a song to my alarm. Do not do that. If you have a favorite song, do not set it as your alarm, because that song will then become associated with waking up, and you will hate that song. Anytime you hear that song in public, you'll get triggered. It's like PTSD fucking D, right? It's terrible. So I stopped doing that. And I changed it to a specific ringtone. It was like a remix of fucking JonTron for a while. Would wake the fucking dead. But it got to the point where I'd sleep right the fuck through it, right? And even now, so I don't have like a custom one. I just use one of the ones on my phone that comes preloaded or whatever, right? Even now, like, I don't know if my phone is just too shitty, or I legitimately like unconsciously snooze it or turn it off or whatever, right? Because there have been times where I've rolled over and looked at the time. Oh shit, it's 9 a.m. I should be at the office right now. Did my alarm even go off? Sleep through anything as long as it's not people raising their voices. Yeah. I get used to things. Mom was. Oh, I read that. Did I? We rarely notice the planes. I mean, it's a small local airport, but still. And jet engines are a lot quieter than props. You know. Keep your alarm across the room. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. You can turn off your watch. Yeah. SpongeBob's alarm. Is that one of the old school like bell alarms? God, I had one of those growing up. Oh my god. So I think I like wanted it or whatever. So my parents got it for me, right? And I just remember the first time that fucker went off. Oh my god. That thing was so fucking loud. I was like, I don't know, 6, 7 maybe, right? It wakes up, scares the shit out of me. And so my father like runs into my room, and I'm just like, ah! It was terrible. So after that, my father's like, all right, enough of this. We're not doing this anymore. A foghorn has an alarm. Oh, okay. It's been a long while since I've watched SpongeBob. But yeah, I wasn't allowed to use that alarm after that. After it was too too loud to fucking get up and turn off. Had one of those I couldn't figure out how to turn off while I was half asleep. Just cuddle it. Just smother it. Smother the alarm. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah, but I have to be a little careful with my alarm ringtone, because if I hear it while I'm out and about, like awake or whatever, it triggers anxiety, you know? Like someone will use that for like their fucking, I don't know, ringtone for something. One big fuck off list of the game. Oh yeah, so I don't know if you've seen this yet. The thing I'm actually working on is this. It's a screenshot server, right? I take a lot of screenshots, a lot, like 2,600 in shut up, 2,600 in just clips. This is one that I bound a button on my controller to screenshot. In fact, these first ones here, we're testing that out, I think. Right, yeah. In this Red Force, I was testing out hitting the screenshot button on my controller and binding that. Yeah, you can get a lot of screenshots when you bind it to a button on your controller. I'll tell you what. Flashbacks to the Game Awards. But yeah, I mean, there's times where you just like start spamming it, you know. Yeah, so I take a lot of screenshots, right? This one's got 2,500. This is Death Stranding. This broken part of it is part of why I'm rewriting this shit. 2,300. I'm like halfway done with this game. I'm not even done with this game, and I've got 2,300 fucking screenshots. Some of these are bad examples. Like BioShock 3, well, it's been a long while since I played BioShock. Infinite, 500. Borderlands, 200. Another 170 over here. 400. 40 for that one. 291 for City Skylines. Deus Ex, 133. Didn't I play this on stream? I feel like I've played this on stream. Transparent fucking flowers or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm getting up close to these things and it's like going transparent or something. Or I'm holding it or something, right? Yeah, I was holding it. I think that's what that was. I was holding it. Doom Eternal. Yeah, I take a few screenshots. No Man's Sky. Do I have that? Yeah, I do. I've only got 4 screenshots in here. I don't know why it's only 4. That fucking guy. The controls in this game piss me off, but that's neither here nor there. Witness me. Liza 40. So some of these are not very many. Like games that I didn't really play through. Fear. I witnessed. Factorio. I really thought I had more than 200 screenshots of Factorio. This is my most played game on Steam, by the way, is Factorio, and I've only got like 200 screenshots. Goes back a while though, 2019. Look at that old ass interface. Where's the UI? Look at that. Look at that old ass fucking power consumption interface. It's not a good tool. Is that out yet? Or is that like early access still? I know there's a bunch of drama around that, and like a lawsuit or whatever. Isn't that the new one? What? Factorio? This? Factorio? This is the old interface right here. The new interface. Do I have one that's got the power? It's themed more like this. Is that for yeah? The ULA is literally straight hell. Yeah, well they all are. I remember the interfaces. Yeah. This one is bad. Yeah, that bad. Shut up. Quiet. Shush. Can I mute that first? Is that a thing? D&D. Do not disturb. Go away. No. He doesn't even know it yet. Bam. Gleba. Fucking Gleba. Fucking Gleba. This shit ass fucking planet. I think I need to like go back there again and like actually fix stuff. Cause I redid a bunch of this already. This isn't what it is anymore. I didn't want to fucking go back there. I did go to the last planet though. Whatever the fuck this is called. Is that the only screenshot I have of that planet? What the shit? Really? Aquilo, yeah. Could swear I had more on that planet, but oh well. Oh well. Okay. Said he couldn't stream without consent, record without consent. If you did, it was their content and they could access your game at any time for any reason. Yeah, that's shitty. Don't a bunch of games have that kind of shit though? Oh, I can't show that on stream. I just got this one the other day, by the way. It's alright. It's alright. Controls are a little weird, but fucking Palworld. Can't show that one on stream. Oberdin was fun. This is a fun one. You only play that game once though. You can't really play that one again, I don't think. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I take a lot of pictures. The Dithering. It is good, yes, but it doesn't have a lot of replayability because once you know like the plot, like you know the plot, you know? Alright, Saints Row. I like the third better than the fourth. Than 4. 3 better than 4, yeah. 4's alright. I like 3 better though. I have to be careful with this. I can't show a lot of that on stream, actually. Saints Row's kinda risky for that. Have I played the new Resident Evil? No, I haven't played any of the Resident Evils. No. They weren't really my kind of game, honestly. Where I have to like meticulously, you know, manage my fucking ammo and all that kind of. I never really liked that kind of game. I'm more on the side of Skyrim where I just, you know, collect all the things, you know, and just hold on to every fucking potion. That's more my speed, you know. Have I played Cyberpunk? I have not, but I did buy it the other day. When I bought something else. I bought Cyberpunk and something else at the same time, I think. Due to the changes in the terms of service, you will be prompted to re-accept when you next start Subnautica 2. The changes will be effective immediately, or if required, at the end of any notice period where you live. What the hell? It's like start from loot, yeah. It's every cheese wheel I bet Bethesda has ever played. Not quite. I haven't found them all. Oh god. Okay, so I have. Can I actually? I don't know if I can show any of those. Hang on. I haven't. It's like 2018. It was like one time I was in that. I mean, almost Twitch safe. I'm not gonna bother. Yeah, I don't have much time in that. Don't worry. I don't know. I need to get back to playing this too. 3 heads just because of that game. Quest Pro Index, Vive Pro 2. Really? I've got a Valve Index that is collecting dust. Mainly because, well, I mean, you know, it's a bit crowded in here. Behind that curtain is so much crap on the floor. Don't worry about it. But my base stations need updating, and for whatever reason, like, they refuse to update, and I don't want to bother with it right now. Full body tracking, nice. Did you bind the screenshot key to your mouse via Steam? Yes. Yeah, because it's a Steam screenshot. It's not the game's screenshot. It's Steam's screenshot. Yes. Yeah, base station firmware updates. Yep. Yep. Allegedly, they should work on Linux, but they just haven't for me for whatever reason. You know? Yeah, so the binding for that, this guy here, and then controller settings, view. What was it? No, not that one. Hang on. It was my layout. One of the joysticks? No. Where the hell was that? I forget what button I had it on. I thought I was like clicking one of these. Yeah, I think it was clicking one of these that did the screenshot. F2. Yeah, but like, I should see it here, shouldn't I? I think it was that. Maybe it was the D-pad. Oh, right there. Never mind. D-pad. Right there. Right there. Yeah, so I bound that. The only downside with this is whenever I screenshot, the UI turns to keyboard input. Also, kind of wondering if the actual fix is something like a custom UDEV rule to set file permissions or something. Maybe whenever I'm fucking with UDEV rules, it never works for me. You can do it manually. It takes like 2 minutes per station. Yeah, so the manual I was doing didn't work. That's the whole thing. And it's been long enough that I'm just gonna wait until the frame comes out. Grab that. That doesn't need the base stations, so yeah. Does the FDS stick rule I sent you work? I don't think so. No, because I still had to use root for that, so no. So something's fucked up with my UDEV rules. Yeah. Reading an article on the new Subnautica EULA, it's all fucked. Oh my god. Yeah, something on my system's fucked up, which isn't that surprising because this is the third in desktop environment I have installed, I think, right? Because I had i3 gaps, and I had, or have, I suppose, still, KDE installed, and I think I may even have had Cinnamon, right? And I never uninstalled them because whatever. Are you those binding in EU, or is that only terms and conditions? I don't know. Non-binding. I don't know. Database. That's going to be a type. SP. You can't have a VPN on. You need to buy a new license for each new machine you play on. Ew. You need to make sure you make clear that any media of it states that Krafton does not sponsor it. I mean, that's a given for anybody playing a game. Is like, all right, this is by default a non-sponsored stream when you're playing it, right? Like, what? What? It's weird. Okay. So, yeah, what's the flag? I never used flags. I always use a what's it? That one third-party package. Because the flags is kind of shit, honestly. For instance, by poking fun at this overbearing EULA by the broad language it uses, I am arguably breaching the part of the agreement that says I cannot harm the reputation of the company, our affiliates, our service providers or licensors, or the reputation of the game, the documentation, or the services. Whoops. That can't be enforceable. Nintendo? Yeah. Like that's got to be like standing on some pretty shaky ground, I think. You know, like I don't think that would really hold up in court. Not that it necessarily has to. It just has to like threaten legal consequences, right? Oh, we're gonna take you to court. You better not. Even if like their argument has no fucking bearing whatsoever. Like a good example of that shit. The warranty void stickers. Those do not hold up in court at all. But just the threat of fighting it, you know, just the threat of like having to go to court is enough of a deterrent for a lot of people, right? ChatGPT, generate me a EULA. Yeah. Good summary someone put on Reddit. The EULA says you do not own the game, only a revocable license. No, it's common. Crash can revoke it access at any time. They can change the agreement whenever they want. Mandatory aberration and class action waiver clauses limit lawsuits. I don't know how that would really hold up in court, honestly. VPN restrictions upset privacy-conscious users. Clauses about social norms. Yep. Viewed as vague and creepy. Yep. Again, I don't know if that will hold up in court. Agreement claims broad rights over mods and derivative content. Monetized content creation may require permission. Yeah. The revocable license is Steam in general. Any game it's just a license. Yeah. If you play the game, you're not allowed to sue us. All right, I'll burn your office to the ground. Fuck you. Like. All right, you're not giving me a legal avenue to resolve my issues? Okay, I'll grab my Molotov. We'll settle this one way or another, motherfucker. Okay, so command line stuff. Import flag. var config file string var database or db type string var db connection string. What arguments do I want anyway? If it's just the path to the config file, you could just use os args1. Sure, but no. Can have the default, e.g. use a default configure. Config. Yeah. We'll get there. Seems that some of the language in the EULA already immediately invalidates it entirely in the EU. Not surprised. Not at all surprised. Yeah. Especially with that really fucking vague ass language like that. Yeah. Not at all surprised. Flag dot. How the fuck do I use this goddamn package again? String var? Define flags using flag dash string bool int etc. Because the integer flag, this is integer flag dash n stored in the pointer fn flag. Oh, I see. Okay. I want to do that one probably. My last contract had a weird clause that included binding arbitration in the U.S. Not in the U.S. I'm fairly certain you could sell your soul if you signed over. Yeah. The hell never two contract would be valid? Probably. What's your salary? More than you, bucko. My work contract says I cannot share my salary with coworkers, which is not even legally binding in the EU. Yeah, funny enough, that's illegal in the U.S. as well. An employer cannot prevent you from discussing pay, even in the U.S. Believe it or not. I mean, it is still heavily frowned upon in companies, but they can't legally do anything about it. Yeah. I spelled fucking flag wrong. Flag dot. What was it? String var. Yes. Flag dot. String var. Config file. Text var. What the fuck? Specify with specified name default value uses string. The argument p must be a pointer to a variable that will hold the value of the flag. Unmarshaller? What the fuck? Okay. It's only frowned upon because it makes it harder to exploit workers.
Hackerman.
Jojo!
Most powerful hacker of all time.
Thank you for 87 months. Holy shit. Did I miss any rants? A few, yes.
Did I miss any rants?
President will likely never has his tax looked into again. Oh my god, don't get me fucking started on that shit. Pisses me the fuck off. Alright, Hackerman in a minute. String var, this one. Okay. Name value string usage. Name value. No. Variable name. Config. Default value. We're not going to have anything in there, actually. And then the usage. configuration file. Sure. Flag dot string var db type db type val var yeah. And then database type dbcon database connection string. I wish your friend didn't know roughly how much I knew, because he constantly makes the joke. I got the extra money without the extra workload. That's because he went to the more manager route, or I went the more individual contributor route, and he wishes he wasn't the manager route. He was forced that way. I mean, I don't like announce how much I make to anybody at work, because I know I make more than them, and I don't know. I feel guilty or something. How much do I make? Like 95K. I think 90 or 95. I forget. It's somewhere in that ballpark. It's okay. I still can't afford a fucking house. I was talking to a coworker today, and so she lives like down by the Cape, in Mass. Not quite that far out, but that direction. And apartments apparently down where she is are going for $3,000 a month. $3,000 a month. That's Manhattan prices. What? I think I have to make like 160K to be quote unquote middle class now. Yeah. In order to start affording like the cheap houses, if those fucking exist anymore, I need to be making 110K. But that's like, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, right? I'm just living in the wrong area. Got my house on a salary of 75K. Yeah, so prices don't really go down until I get out of the Northeast, or I go into the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Maine, which I'm not doing. Yeah, so the only places around me, and by around me, I mean east of New York, anywhere east of New York, the only places I've seen that were under like 300K were complete dumps that needed to be torn down and rebuilt. Don't you tuck me in? I'll put a fish in your pillow. I don't want to be living out in the middle of the woods. Is basically what it is. All right. I want some civilization. All right. And it's fucking cold up there. My friend's son lives in Boston. Yeah, Boston's a mess, right? And I'm decided to go with the place with the antique vault. That was like $300,000, and so like for that, like I think it was $300,000 anyway. But like, it's in an area that I wouldn't have been able to find a job, right? Those housing prices are in cities. Not Bar Harbor though. That place is expensive. No, anywhere around me. Anywhere within like commute distance of my work. Absolute bare minimum is 300,000. If you can find any of those. I had a look the other day. They're mostly 400K up. Yeah. I am not from California. I am in the greater Boston area. I'm a little south of Boston. Dave, you can work from anywhere? Yeah. International economies make it weird. 30K is quite rich here. I know I've asked you before, but whereabouts is here? Don't be too specific, but like country. area, general area. I know. I feel like I've asked you before and I've completely forgotten. But yeah, the housing market where I am is completely fucked. South of Brazil. Okay. All right. Yeah, where I am, everything is completely fucked. This is Fallout 4. Yeah, the apartment that I'm in right now is a fucking steal for where I am. It's less than half of the going rate for apartments. Yeah, I think the going rate for apartments where I like in this area are like start at $2,000. All sorts of rats. No, my landlord fixed that. He set up some more traps and actually used the fucking steel wool with the foam, so they couldn't eat through that shit. That and I've got like 20 goddamn rat traps around my apartment. No, so like the only like issue I have with this place is the limited power, and the limited space. You know, everything else is all right. I would like my own, my own building, like a house. I would love a house. Something with my own fucking laundry hookups. Oh my god. Can't run a data center for any better. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I haven't like expanded my server stuff. Because like the majority of my place is on one 15 amp breaker. And I found that out when I had the AC plugged in a while back. And when it kicked on, my battery backups freaked out because there wasn't getting enough amperage. You know? So I have a dedicated circuit for my AC unit now. If you wouldn't have put a data center in because we would have already built it. Well, the land up here is expensive. See the news about the company that laid off their entire HR department? Laid off their entire HR departments because they created problems that did not exist, and when they were fired, those problems didn't appear. What? Departments. HR departments. Okay. Do you want my own place under 100K? Oh no, what is this? You mean a parking spot? Go to hell. $99,000 for a parking spot. Oh my god. What the fuck? What the fuck? This is a hole in the wall, like a literal hole in the wall. Rarely available garage parking on K Street. 9 by 20, I hope that's feet, garage for one car parking. $150,000. A bed in the fridge. You're right. Built in 1900 though. Oh my god, it's vintage. HOA. Fuck off. HOA for a fucking parking spot? What? No. Absolutely fucking not. Cheapest place to buy is $350. Yeah. Yeah, for like an actual place to live. Yeah, HOA on a parking spot. Oh yeah, Boston proper. Fucking 600K, 1.7 mil, 1.2 mil, 999,000, 975, 550. Yeah, nothing even fucking close to my price range. Yeah, the the financial district, 2 mil. Yeah, okay. Okay. I don't need to live in the financial district in Boston. But even going out to like Worcester, Worcester. I don't know how you pronounce that. I think that's an actual like condo or whatever. Prices are still 500K, 1.1 mil. No, 220K. Oh, because it's just land. It's a lot. There's nothing on the lot. It's just empty land with fucking AI-generated pictures of shit that you could put there. $220,000 for an empty fucking lot. $125,000 for another lot. 0.39 acres. $70,000 for another lot. Yep. All the cheap ones are just fucking bare land. Easy money. I don't have the money to buy it in the fucking first place. Please don't fire me, shareholders. Money is a skill issue. Increase shareholder value to get more. Always increase shareholder value. Since I was always thinking about increasing shareholder value. I love my shareholders. Shareholder value 10. I guess it's just that we don't hear about the good HOAs, but the ones we hear about don't really have good reputation. Yeah. HOAs proudly maintain the U.S. tradition of keeping the riffraff out. Yeah. Yeah. And that's another thing. I refuse to live in a place that has an HOA. Right? I have a 44 mil place with a $22,000 a month HOA. What? What? Jesus Christ. It's too much goddamn money. Is it a parse? Like that look up. Parse. Yeah. If config file does not equal nil and db type does not equal that, or db connection does not equal that, let's actually return an error here. Return nil. But yeah, that housing market's fucking depressing as shit. Line error and then return. Now. My friend is fucking moving into a house that his in-laws are just giving him basically for like at least 3 years. Fucking bastard. If db type does not equal nil and db connection equals Pretty happy with the concept of HOA in Europe. It must be nice. Aren't you on the grind? Vibe coding your 46th app to make more money. Shut up. Oh yeah, like I think I got distracted before, but shush. My boss is shoving more AI bullshit down everyone's throats at work, and yeah, I'm just fucking zoning out now. I'm just like, you know what? I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want anything to fucking do with it. He's like, oh yeah, well you can just, you know, someone reports an issue and then it'll go out and get that code for the thing and find out where the bug is and propose a fix for the bug and make a pull request and da 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 da. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't fucking trust that, like, at all. Also, if it does all that, what the fuck you need me for? Why would I be happy about this? Why are you typing? The company's taking the ship, called hard right into the iceberg. Caw. Product writes the description, then uses AI to write acceptance criteria. Developers are then expected to use AI to write code. Write the code AI first. Have AI write the tests. We want AI to write the automated tests. Use AI to write the summaries. AI. Yeah, and it's like, at that point, it's like, all right, why am I here? It told us it's not about producing faster, but producing better quality and using AI to do the smaller stuff faster. We can do the more important stuff, aka produce more faster. Yeah, it's not gonna pan out that way though. It never has, ever, with any technology. It's just reducing the worker footprint. Yeah, no matter what the tech is. But they're being sold snake oil. And they're buying it up because it sounds amazing. Oh my god, it must be amazing. So much money's going to this. Same story every time. I'll have an AI workshop next week. The first time I'm going to the office in like 2 years. Oh my god. Now there are tons of research showing that using AI without keeping track of what it does leads to bad outcome. Yeah, absolutely. So the idea is to be an expert of the code generated by AI. How about I just like do it myself so I know how it fucking works and I can plan around shit. And get this, I can write new things, not just, you know, something that the AI trained off of on the internet. I can write something new. Just a new version of 9 women can produce a baby in 1 month. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it takes 1 woman 9 months to make a baby, so clearly we just need 9 women so we can do it in a month. Like, that's not how any of this works, actually. Working on a simple ticket. Sure, produce the code faster, but then I had to test it manually, go back and each ticket fix what the AI wrote. Yeah. I less headache to just fucking do it yourself at that point, you know? And on top of that, this is the shit I went to school for. And you're telling me to just hand that all over to some magic box? Go fuck yourself. I only recently paid off those bills. Go to hell. Go right to fucking hell and burn in it. No. Let's go to the toilet to use TTD and ask questions. Yeah. It writes the code and you have no clue how anything works. Yeah. And sure, like my boss says, oh yeah, well we need to, you know, manually verify this and that. And okay, you'll do that for a week, right? And then you'll get used to it and just hit accept without even fucking looking or understanding the code. Guarantee it. Want to understand the implications of what you're doing, right? I'm fairly certain that's why fucking Windows Explorer crashes all the goddamn time. Right? Explorer, I just wanted to open this file that I just pasted into this folder. Why can't you see it? Don't get me wrong, there are parts of where it's a handy tool. Like, I've used it to build a couple of CLI tools that I did have time to do, and yet just haven't. Same with the little tracker website and home to track my local gas station prices. I don't care about the code for that little site as long as it works. Fork after support for years. Yeah, I don't know. I reject it on principle more than anything. And so I like just out of principle refuse to use it. My boss isn't happy with that, but he can go pound fucking sand. We're in the first drug one is free, yeah. And then your first hit's free, exactly. And it's only gonna get fucking worse. On principle, on ethical grounds, and on environmental grounds. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't want to live near one of those fucking data centers. You see the fucking the noise pollution that comes out of those? Like, even just that alone, like, it's like, what is it? Like, sub audible? Is that the right word? I don't know. It's like low enough that you can't actively hear it, but it fucks with your system, right? Because it's still a physical thing that's happening, right? Even though the audio you can't hear, you can fucking feel it. Right? So it like makes you fucking nauseous to be around it. Makes you physically sick. We'll have space data centers in 15 years. Those don't make any fucking sense either. And anybody that thinks that those are a good idea hasn't thought of the fucking physics of it. I don't mean the physics of getting it up there. That's the easy part. I mean the physics of fucking cooling the damn thing. You're in a goddamn vacuum. You are in your you know, thermal coffee mug, essentially. Your thermos. Right? There ain't no ambient air to radiate away all the heat. You got to use the least efficient method of radiation, which is thermal radiation. Just direct, you know, direct radiation. Cooling air, you know, space has lots of weight. Exactly. Also, data centers, the water issue isn't a concern because they're closed loop. It's like a couple residual pools. Now, the bigger concern is the power. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think the water is as much of a problem as the rest of it, right? I don't think anyway. I mean, I haven't fucking read the research papers. Same cooling as ISS. The ISS does not produce nearly as much heat as a data center. Not even close to the wattage. And even then, the surface area for cooling is significantly larger than the habitable space, the habitable volume of the space center, space station. Yeah, space is a fantastic insulator. Yeah. There were a couple of bad data centers that had bad water systems, but newer are closed systems. Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, like I don't think the water thing that everyone's pushing is really the big issue we should be looking at. Honestly, it's probably not great, but I don't think that is like the most egregious environmental impact that these things have, right? More environmental impact is the noise pollution, is the straight up fucking power consumption, and the fucking heat dissipation on those things. Like apparently, like they can change the temperature of like the fucking town they're in just because of the amount of heat that they produce. Altogether, the 8 solar array wings can generate about 240 kilowatts in direct sunlight, or about 84 to 120 kilowatts average power. Now, there's a limit on heat produced. Right. Yeah, they're heating up the Arizona desert. And that's the stuff I'm concerned with, right? I pushed against AI for so long, literally used staring into an iceberg in our Steward monthly survey about AI uses when we can't pay bonuses. But they're adding it to our reviews now, and we have to weekly say, that's your AI win. Also, weekly reviews? Am I reading that right? Oh my fuck. Like, this is what's gonna make me fucking pick up welding. I swear to fuck. This is what's gonna make me, say, fuck all you. I'm gonna pick up a welder and stick 2 pieces of metal together. Fuck you. Right? Time for the trades. Fucking good luck trying to outsource me, motherfucker. How far do you even get with 240 kilowatt in a data center? Not very. Yeah. Yeah. You see the recent AOC video with the bottles of drinking water? AOC video? I don't think so. Has a manager try to write weekly what I used AI for on the work this week? Oh my god. They outsourced Bender? Poor Bender. Aaron Swartz, Reddit co-founder, was going to jail for a long time for taking some academic books from a JSTOR database and took his own life. Meanwhile, AI companies do it at an industrial scale and get away with it. Yeah. And their whole thing is like, oh, well, if we can't steal these books, we don't have business. Okay, fuck you, go out of business. Like, if I can't, you can't. Why can you? Because you promise AI? Fuck off. We have quarterly reviews, monthly surveys, and the tech lead has to ask everyone every week, do you have an AI win for the week? You get rules for thee, but not for me. Yep. I hate that, by the way. If they start doing that at work, I'm going to be incredibly toxic about it.
I have a jar right here.
Huh.
This is the current drinking water in Morgan County, Georgia.
Oh my God. That's terrible.
Right after a data center was constructed, the metadata center was constructed. The only difference between the clean water and this was that data center. I have another one as well.
Oh my God.
So this wasn't just one well. These wasn't just one family's situation. This is what the drinking water now
This is
looks
disgusting.
like next to that data center. And I think both of us can agree that neither one of these things are drinkable. These families now have to ship, in a rural area, have to ship water to their house in order to cook and bathe themselves.
That's terrible.
Now, I'm curious if the EPA plans any investigations on how data centers are affecting water quality and availability. I understand what you said.
So I'm pretty sure the contamination from those isn't from necessarily the water cooling from the data center, but probably other processes at that data center that are just leaking contaminants everywhere.
About the rule, but are
Yeah,
there
the
any
indirect.
open
Yeah.
investigations on this issue?
So as soon as I get back to the office, I will be looking into exactly what you've just talked about, because
Bullshit.
anywhere, whatever
don't
whatever
believe you.
type of construction it is a priority to ensure that water quality standards established by EPA are being met. And so we'll be looking into that certainly.
Thank you.
Certainly. Yeah, okay.
I sincerely
Uh-huh.
appreciate
I don't believe
that because I think this is of utmost
Were they-
importance, and we're seeing this
Were
happen.
they fracking during construction? I wouldn't be
I'd
surprised.
also like to ask about the administration's push to build more data centers
Probably the guys around for the
by
construction yard they did.
fast-tracking construction. Because
Oh, thank you for pointing that out. We
the
pretend to look at
administration's
it.
issuing executive orders
Yep.
to fast-track data center construction when we know that water quality is encountered.
Yeah, and it's the fast tracking of all these data centers that really pisses me off too. There was one town in fuck, where was that? Hang on, I want to get it right. Google, please. It was either, I think it was in Wisconsin or Minnesota, one of those two states, I think, where like the town council or whatever had a town hall meeting or whatever that basically was just announcing, hey, we're approving this data center, and all the residents were fucking livid, to the point where like all the residents are yelling at these board members, and the board members are like, shut up, we're doing this, stop being babies. And then they walked out and approved the data center, and it's like, what the fuck? No, that's literally what no one wants, except you. Who's paying you for this? Google definition responded to me in French. Yeah. That looks like water that has regular ground particulates in it, because they don't have a chance to sediment and leave clean surface water. Accept your fate, citizen.
Major issues.
Yeah.
Are there any mandates
With a
for
gun to her
data
head? Yeah,
centers
right.
to do water quality testing prior to construction?
Of like coming from a public water supply, drinking water supply sampling?
Wells, yeah.
I'm not aware of anything like that. However, it doesn't mean I'm just not aware of it. Might exist,
Yes.
but I'm
Yeah, not aware of it. Okay. Yeah.
You
All right,
know,
Miss
I
Kramer.
think it's important that, you know,
Look out, going outside because that's what people will do. Oh yeah, yeah. At a certain point, when your government ignores you long enough, or blatantly contradicts what the majority of the public wants, and pisses off enough people, if the people aren't feeling like their voice is heard, or if they're being antagonized directly, right? There's a point where that turns violent. I'm not saying it's a good thing. It's an inevitability, you know? Yeah, heads are rolling during the French Revolution for less, you know? Like, there's a breaking point, you know? It's like the guy that burnt down the that warehouse, you know? It's like, you should have paid me enough to live. I say that guy. I think there was a few warehouses that people burnt down, right? You get to a point where you don't have any options, right? Like, any option that you take is you're in the gutter. So it's like, all right, might as well go down in a ball of fire. Let's go. If there are non-violent means of redress, the consequences are obvious. Yeah. So remember that at some point, knowledge will be charged like electricity on a meter. Yeah, that's bullshit too. Scorched earth, motherfucker! Yeah.
you as an agency official, we have
Yeah, I could see that happening. Free public library. They're trying to get rid of those too. Well, I mean, not as blatantly anyway. There was there was one news story that I saw. What is my take on Kinesis boards? These boards? I like them. I like them a lot. So I've got two. I've got a what's it? A split keyboard. This is only one half of it. It's kind of dusty actually. I've got a split keyboard and I have a TKO that I use at work. And I really enjoy them, especially the fucking double space bars. But I mean, that's not specific to this one. I don't even know if that code still works, honestly. It takes off shipping, I think. But yes, I do really like these keyboards. They do not require some proprietary bullshit app to configure, which is fucking fantastic. You hit a key combo, it goes into like USB mode, and you edit a text file or a handful of text files on the keyboard. Save it, hit a key combo to load it back on the keyboard, and you're good to go. I think all their keyboards that are configurable do that. Yeah, so these are, fuck, what are these? These are blues, I think? Cherry blues. And at work, I've got, box something. I've got a different key, switch type. It's quieter because I don't want anybody to kill me now. Kill me at work. Now. Going back and forth between some Keychron, Voyager, and Kinesis. Oh, okay. What is this? This is what my C-suite probably eating up. Oh no. Anthropic CEO predicts AI leading to a 10% unemployment rate. Seems sure this technology is going to take us to a world where we have very high GDP growth and potentially very high unemployment. And inequality. NVIDIA giving money to OpenAI so the OpenAI can give the money back to NVIDIA. Yeah, and so that's one thing that my boss like hasn't been able to argue against yet. When I was talking to him, when we were out eating, when he was here last, like at a bar or whatever, he's going on about bullshit. And I'm like, okay, just look at the money. You understand money, right? Where's the money going? They're all paying each other, right? It's just staying there. The only one that like is arguably really making any money would be NVIDIA. They're the ones making all the fucking shovels in the gold rush, you know? It's called fraud and insane, right? All the money's going back and forth between a bunch of companies, a handful of companies, right? And yeah, that was one where like I think he didn't expect me to go down that route of like, hey, you understand business, right? Follow the fucking money here. Doesn't make any sense to you because it doesn't to me. That was the only time he like shut the fuck up about it. It was weird. Talking about AI is gonna take jobs and stuff. My company is like, we need to get ahead. So the amount of power we need to do that, he says, is unbelievable. Yeah, so he doesn't understand that like, no, this stuff takes a significant amount of resources. You don't understand. It's not like, oh, some simple whatever. Yeah, apparently my company has already bought some NVIDIA chips for this bullshit. And I'm like, come on. And he was asked directly today in like the weekly meeting, like, okay, what chips? Which ones? I'm curious, which ones? Not in an aggressive mode, tone. One of my coworkers brought it up. He goes, "Oh, really? That's kind of neat. I'm interested. Which ones specifically? Because was it these ones or these ones?" And he avoided the question entirely. He skirted around it like, "Okay, all right." Let's graph. What? Look at this photograph. Yes, it's right here. Whoop, 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 whoop. This. Yeah. It's all in a fucking circle. Everyone is hemorrhaging fucking money. Because they're all just passing it around. You know, they aren't making it. Yeah, so that was one thing that my boss even said. And I made a snide remark about it. He goes, yeah, we just need to find a way to monetize it. And I say back, yeah, that's what everyone's trying to do. Everyone's trying to find a way to monetize AI. And that's why they're struggling. Everybody. Well, no. Everyone is trying very hard to make money off this, and no one is. How are we going to do that if fucking OpenAI can't? You probably understand that we're not gonna have enough power, but he wants to sell the AI hype to get more money. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Jinx the Kool-Aid. Yep. I'm glad that I was forced to build an AI cluster for our science and engineering department. They just said, fuck it, buy all the 4090s when they came out. Oh my god. And then a few professors said, I need a 5090 cluster now. Oh my god. It used to be scalpers that, you know, were buying up all the cards. Now it's fucking businesses. Like, what the shit? And the true winner is ASML. make the machines to make all these chips. Fucking right? Gotta get into the business of making the chip fabs. Holy shit. I got for real now. What time? Isn't it like 4 a.m. over there now? It's been like 2 hours since I checked last. Yeah, 4:12. I was right. EU supremacy. Yeah. I charged yet? No, 80%. Almost. So we had an automated rules engine, and the task I'm working on is to integrate it into an AI tool, so we can put an AI stamp on our product. And it's like, we literally have automated processing. This is already, no one is going to use this feature. All its work and money for nothing. Yeah, it's like, stop it. Get some help. And my big thing with my company personally is like, East Coast, before the acquisition, has been bleeding talent for decades because of the dipshits that were running the company, right? Throwing AI at all this shit isn't gonna fix it. It's not. It's gonna make it worse, if anything. And you've already proven that it can't figure out what the fuck PLB is. But you want to throw PLB at it so you can get business rules out of it? No, fuck you. That ain't fucking happening. No. When GPU computing took off in 2010, it was great because you could just buy cheap consumer GPUs. So I got started with it. Yeah, data-wise bullshit, unaffordable. Yeah, and that's why that shit's all like unobtainable now. You know, it's because these massive fucking companies are paying for RAM that doesn't exist yet with money they haven't made yet to put in computers that don't exist yet in data centers that haven't been built yet. Like, what the fuck? Stop it. All code written by AI in 6 months, said over multiple years. I should buy a 49 so I can turn my Twitch bot into an AI chatbot. Homegrown with no water loops. Ignore the blood chips. Yeah. Watched a video about that recently. The machines they used to make the chips are insane. Oh god, yeah. Shooting tin choppers 3 times with lasers, 50,000 times a second. Yep. Oh yeah, yeah. Incredibly precise machines those things are. Yep. Mirrors are being aligned carefully enough to pick which side of the coin on the moon to hit with a laser. Yep. Speculative business. Yeah. A majority of the programs that fire people and replaced with AI employees, realizing the AI is costing them more than a human and hemorrhaging money. Yeah. Yeah, those companies need to just fucking go under, honestly. Hey, replace humans. This is what comes out of Anthropic CEO's mouth. I can't say anything else. No. Yeah, there's that, and then there's the CEOs that promote the, what was it, the 996 work schedule. Those guys need to be fucking drawn and quartered, honestly. My last boss was one of those sales guys who was sell first, make later. Oh, God. I just flat out told him it doesn't work like that. I've had, God, so some of the shit that I had to deal with in my current job was because of people like that, where they sold a thing and then came to the developer and said, can we do this? And the developer goes, what the fuck? No. But I thought we did it for this. No, we didn't. We never did that. Where did you get that idea? Huh? Like that one of like the thing need to always be run on the first. That was the sales guy doing that, I think. And yeah, like none of the sales ever tried to negotiate with the customer. Like, oh, maybe we can do this instead. No, they just fucking, yup, okay, yup, and just gave the customer whatever the fuck they wanted. And then we'd fucking fall on our face when we couldn't do it. And then the customer got pissed off that we couldn't do something we promised. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Companies in EU doing 4-day work week with no extra hours and seeing good results. I believe it. Yeah. I mean, like, right now, like, my day is at work. Half of my day at work, I'm not getting any work done because I'm just fucking burnt out. A solid half of the day. Easy. You know, like, even today when I was actually trying to get work done, like, I just didn't have the fucking energy for it, you know? Just didn't have the energy for it. Because of all the bullshit I gotta deal with, you know? And it's just the constant balls to the wall of like, oh, we gotta get this done now, hurry up. Why isn't this done yet? And I'm like, fuck you. You know, there's one where, like, it's this whole automated, like, you know, file movement bullshit or whatever, but it requires the files to have a certain, to conform to a certain file name spec, right? Which, fine. The old file spec is terrible, and it was an 8.3 spec, right? So 8 characters dot extension of 3 characters. Yeah, that makes it difficult for uniqueness for a lot of things, right? It's like 4 characters were work order, 2 characters were the type of file, and then another 2 characters were the sequence number of that file or whatever, right? And that's not enough for what we're doing because the volume of work that we do now is just exponentially higher than what we used to do 30 years ago. So the new file format, like, is the file name format is a lot longer, has more information in it, and it's more unique and better and all that kind of shit, right? Well, the Big Bank program doesn't conform to that yet. And last October is when I had stopped doing work to get it conformed because Boss Man came in saying, hey, you need to do this by this time. Like, this is a hard stop date. I'm like, well, fuck, this is going on hold. It's only this past week I got started back up on that project from months ago. And my boss is already like, okay, well, we need this done, like, soon because we're starting this thing up now. I'm like, man, I told you. I've been telling you for fucking months that I need time to do this. All right? And, like, I can't just, like, flip a switch and make it go. Like, pump your fucking brakes, man. I get that you want to do this, but it requires this to work. Fuck off. Let me do this. And he's pissy about it, right? Thankfully, he hasn't bugged me this week about, like, getting it done. But I've started to actually work in earnest, getting that shit working again and back into the testing and figuring out where the fuck I left off 6 months ago, you know? But, Jesus, like, just give me some time to fucking breathe, man. Send you a screenshot? Uh-oh. Test engineer agent. If it's part of the code monetization plugin? What? Code monetization plugin. I beg your pardon? Modernization. I misread. Modernization. Right, it's characterization, contract, and equivalence tests that pin down legacy behavior so transformation can be proven correct. Use before any rewrite. Tools, read, write, edit, glob, grep, bash. What? Fuck off. Speaking of doing stuff faster, my boss is probably already thinking we can skip the QA team. Send a screenshot and look at what he was thinking about. I hate that already. I hate it. I hate it so much. Our company is kind of weird. Our CEO is very clear that all AI is theft, but somehow we are still getting... FOMO? Yeah. Can you try to use the... and a bladed LLM detect what file name does what until it works with AI? Have them sign a waiver and make them shut up until it falls over. Oh. So this program, the Big Bang program, moving it from one server to another, you think would be straightforward. Copy paste it to a new server, run it, it's good. Right? No. I knew that was going to be a shit show. And I was given like a hard date for some stuff. So I'm like, all right, I need to just fucking rip the Band-Aid off and fucking power through the nightmare, right? I need to, or else it will never get done, right? Because other shit's gonna come up and, you know, I'll get pulled away for other things. I just need to rip this Band-Aid off, tell everyone else to go to hell while I'm fixing it, and just get it done. About 3 o'clock on a Wednesday. April. The 29th. I start the switch over. I was doing a lot of, like, you know, copying things over, making sure that, like, it tested fine. Right? 3 o'clock on the 29th was the switch over. I told operations, hey, I need to run the next one to make sure it works. I was there until 7 o'clock getting that file fucking run. Fixing little bullshit things that didn't come up in test because this program, when run in test, doesn't run half the fucking program. Right? The next day, I was there until like 6. And the entire day, I was fixing this program. The entire fucking day, I was chasing shit down just to find what broke and fix it. And with this program, the trouble with this switchover is once one job ran successfully, I'm stuck. I'm on that system now, fucking period. Because moving back would break more things than just powering through it on the new system, right? Because it updates so many auxiliary files here and there, fucking everywhere, right? Little breadcrumbs, fucking everywhere. And if I miss one of them, everything goes tits up, right? So if I get it running successfully once on the new system, it has to stay there. Because it successfully updated all those files and wrote everything where it all needed to be. And reverting that is a bitch and a half, especially if more than one job is run successfully. Right? So my boss was asking, like, you know, okay, well, what's your backup plan of this? And I'm like, there isn't one. Like, the backup plan is get it fucking working. Like, that's it. There is no go back to old server for this. Period. How you do backups and restores? So that's the thing. We don't. We do technically back up the server. We haven't had to do a restore on the server. And even if we did have to do a restore, if we lost any data, there's a good chance we would have to rerun a bunch of jobs. So the data that gets updated is duplicate check information, right? So we run file A. File A has 1,000 checks in it. File B comes in, and there's 10 checks in there that have the same check number and dollar amount and, like, payee name or some shit, right? There's a few different pieces of criteria that it can check for that. That's configurable by the customer. So if a check is flagged as duplicate, you know, oh, we already sent out a check like this. It gets pulled out of the run, sent up to a website so the customer can say, yes, this is duplicate, delete it, or no, this wasn't, put it in the next run, right? If we lose a bunch of duplicate check data, we're sending out duplicate checks. That's bad. When that happens, it becomes a big fucking incident. It has happened in the past because of mismanagement on the plant manager's side, honestly. And when it happens, it's a big ordeal. Because sometimes those checks are large, like more than $100,000 on a check, there's an entire separate print file for 100,000 checks, or checks above 100K, because it happens that frequently that we get those big dollar amounts, right? I think I saw one the other day that was like $3 million. Some fucking oil company rebate or some shit. So yeah, we need that code in there, because if not, the bank gets really fucking mad at us. We do not want this bank mad at us, right? I mean, it's working now after a lot of pain. It took like a fucking week to get it ironed out enough that I wasn't actively working on it every day. I think the 15th was the first day that I wasn't actively putting out fires all day. And I about fell asleep on my desk at noon just because like the adrenaline was gone at that point, you know? And the panic was gone. And I got nothing done that day because like I just was making sure that, or I just, nothing, I wasn't doing anything other than putting out fires that day, and no fires were happening, so I was just taking a breath. Don't they have like shrinkage accounted for in the books and insurance? Yeah. Well, insurance does take care of a bunch of shit, right? But if it's like, so if it's determined that it was like my company's mistake, they could potentially come after us for the difference, for the money, instead of their insurance company, right? And my bosses don't want to deal with that. Zephyr, how you doing? That's a nice idea to store screenshots by the game. Well, so that's Steam doing that technically, but what I'm doing is a internet front end for that kind of thing. But then your company also has insurance. No, I mean allegedly. I don't know. And again, like, will the insurance cover that kind of thing? You know, like, was that negligence on our part? Short answer, yes. Almost always it's going to be negligence on our part, just because of how this company has been run over the decades, you know? So there's a good chance that insurance won't cover that, or couldn't cover it because of the dollar amount, you know? I'm going to do social things. I only had 4 hours of sleep in a 43-hour period. What? What? Excuse? But yeah, so when I did the switch over too, so it was Wednesday. Thursday was a mess, but it started to calm down a little bit. Then Friday hit. Friday was the first of the month, and everything burst into flames. Everything. So some other programs, not the Big Bang program, but some other programs, I had to move back to the old server. Like, no, run it over there. What? It's less broken over there. So they sent 2 dupes of, say, 4 checks, each worth $500K. They had to pay that back. Yeah, fat chance of surviving that. Exactly. Yeah, $2 million, paying that back. Good luck. Doing great. Are you doing Go at my job? Yes and no. So the only Go that's at my place of employment is the code I have introduced in Go. Everything else is in a language called PLB, which is a dog shit COBOL clone. And that code's like 30 years old. And all spaghetti. It's all fucking spaghetti. Like some of the code I was looking at today, like the fucking like it was code for actually the duplicate shit, right? So this is gonna be not legit code here, right? So it opens the input file, right? And then it, you know, loops through reading every line in the input, you know, break if over, so it exits the loop there, right? And in here, it like validates input, right? Sure. Then after that loop, it checks for duplicates, right? So if whatever, or if, you know, star dot release, yeah, exists, open the input of that rel .rel file, whatever, right? And then after that, if I can, what the fuck was it called? Beg for dupes, right? Yoink. Go to beg for dupes. Yeah, this was a loop, like, for each fucking rel file, right? Repeat. Yeah, bullshit. So this loop that like read like an input file of basically what was like a ls star.rel into job rel.dir, I think it was, right? So it would open up like this here, open dir fucking job rel.dir, read dir file name, break if over, and then it would decrypt that, right? And then it would open it, right? And then jump back to the top up here, right? And it'd move the file out of the way first. It would jump back up here, fall into this loop, do all that shit again, fall down back into this loop, find the next release file, jump back up here from inside the loop. Complete mess. And I'm severely simplifying what's going on, right? And that's just like for the input bullshit. There's all kinds of other shit going on further down the program that's just so much copy paste of code and go to spaghetti and shit where it's like, you know, we're gonna do a thing, we're gonna, you know, call func1 or whatever, right? And then, you know, do some more processing, whatever, and then func1 is, you know, is defined here with a return after, you know, code or whatever, right? And then there's the like step 3. So after that is, you know, go to step 3. So it jumps over the function it defined and goes to a mess, an absolute mess. Yeah. This is all over the fucking place. This kind of stuff where it defines routines and then like jumps over those routines. A mess. Hey, I would fix it when I delete everything. No. We'll find write some Go code. I mean, you're not wrong. What I would love to do is completely rewrite the bank program from scratch in a modern language. But I do not have the time or resources for that. I just don't. Not right yet, anyway. Yeah, every mistake is negligence, but insurance only gets to evade a payout if there's a coverage limit and it's below value, or if it's gross negligence. Yeah. What the fuck is this? Delegating editing work to LLMs corrupts documents across 52 professional domains. Okay. Luckily, Natural doesn't have go-tos, but man, do people used to get around with repeats everywhere. Yeah. Don't banks like Java? Banks like COBOL. The big bank, what they send to us is all COBOL, or from a COBOL system, a mainframe system. That's what the financial sector runs on, by the way, is COBOL. Fucking everything. Yeah, the banks don't like updating. Yeah, it's expensive. It's dangerous. I see the thought process of being something like, let's skip this function code near the code that uses it. Let's get the function code near the code that uses it so it's easy to read. But still, when you're not trying to catch all the details, gets oh yeah. So reading the code, you can tell that at one point it was very well structured and thought out 30 years ago, and they just kept bolting shit onto it. Right? They just kept, oh well, I'll just add this small thing here. I'll just add this small thing here and jump around it. It's fine. It's only this little thing here. And you do that for 30 years, and you've created a fucking monster. There's only one domain LLMs are moderately good at, programming in Python. Yeah, Python. It feels like MS Research got some magical contract. They can do shit independently, even when going against Microsoft's interests. Yeah. Bolt-driven development. I don't know if they use bolts. Probably, duct tape and rubber bands, right? Bolts are a little sturdy, I think, for the code that I'm working with. Yeah. I got nothing done tonight. God damn it. And I'm tired, and I'm hungry. Yeah, anyway, I think I am actually gonna wrap up because I am tired. I'm not gonna anything tonight. I'm tired. A little bit of ranting tonight. Yeah, a little bit. That's all I did tonight. I'll get some more skeleton done tomorrow maybe, and then we can do some proper work on Sunday, I think. I got some ideas on I almost said on paper. Some ideas down though. So there's that. Thank you, Father. Appreciate it. So yeah, I'll probably be working on this Sunday. Still some things I want to get maybe comfortable with the TRS stuff. I have a better idea of what I'll be starting with on stream with that anyway. Yeah, starting on stream, we're gonna start with just like basic stuff, like writing the language basic, right? To get comfortable with that and figuring out the rest of the system. But not this weekend. Maybe next. I don't know. But yeah, Sunday's probably gonna be more of this. I'll probably work on this a little bit tomorrow, honestly. Get more of the skeleton down. Get some bare pages up and loading. Get the framework started. Such firing a HR team with your bolt action. Yeah. But let's go rate somebody real quick. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here and listening to my bullshit, by the way. I appreciate that. What's this guy doing? I'm gonna turn off the audio for you. How's this guy's working on a game? Let's go say hi to this guy. And then when you realize you need some HR stuff done, just get HR to hire someone. Week before last, HR was in the building. And they had like these big meetings that they wanted people to be at, but they sent the meeting invite to 2 fucking people and didn't tell anybody else. So the day of, I'm like, wait, there's a meeting? And like, yeah, you didn't hear about it? I'm like, I threw like rumor. Send me the goddamn invite so I can. Why wouldn't you send everybody the invite? Oh, some people work remote. Who cares? Send it to them anyway. Anyway, but I digress. I have a guy in the company that didn't invite himself to a one-on-one. Oh my god. Anyway, you guys have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys hopefully on Sunday. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.